Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Keaton with Duo Games, and in today's video I wanted to start a new series where I answer Ask Reddit questions. I kind of got inspired by some of my old favorite YouTube series like Mail Monday and Wisdom Wednesday from my boy QuadamFT. Shout out to him. And yeah, so I don't really have enough audience yet to pick and pull questions from the comment section, but maybe in like upcoming videos, if you guys want to drop some comments in the comment section, I can answer those. But yeah, for the first video today, we're just gonna answer some questions that I pulled off of Reddit. And yeah, you guys can see in the background we got a little bit of Black Ops 3 gameplay. And in this gameplay, I think there might have actually been a hacker on the other team, because when I joined, all my attachments were removed from my gun, and then I randomly got kicked at the end of the game, which is pretty lame. But yeah, anyways, this video is not about the gameplay so much, so let's hop right into the questions. Starting out with the first one, we got a question from 6'2" Baller. He asks, if every job paid the same, what would you do for a living? Now, this is a pretty good one. I had to think about this a little bit, but I think the first thing that comes to my mind is I would probably want to be a music producer, because I think that's probably like my biggest passion. I love like making like playing video games and stuff. Like I think that would be really fun too, but I don't know if I would want to do that like every single day forever. I don't know, maybe I would say like video games would be like maybe tied equally. These are kind of like my vanity projects too, because it's just the stuff I find like really pleasurable, but I'm sure there's like other stuff I could do that would be more valuable to humans. Like, I don't know, I'm not sure exactly what that would be, but I think I could probably contribute in some other way. I just haven't figured out what that is yet. But yeah, going on, let's see what we got from Habs for Life. He asks, what immediately tells you that a person wasn't raised right? That is a good question, and I was reading through a couple of the comments because nothing came to mind immediately when I read this one. And I think the first one that like really stood out to me as being like a good answer is somebody said, if somebody's like entitled to things and they kind of feel like everyone around them is like there to serve them, that is a pretty good sign that they weren't raised right. And I think that's like true. Like I've met a couple of people in my life who you could tell like they kind of just thought like other people were kind of meant to just be there to help them. Like they never really considered like the equal give and take of relationships and stuff like that. Not always just with like relationships, but like just strangers even, like, you know, I think like treating the waitress terribly or something like that, like that's a really obvious red flag that, you know, somebody wasn't raised right. So yeah, let's see what we got for question number 3. Oh, this one is deleted, the user, but he asks, that's concerning a little bit. He says, what improved your mental health? So guys, for me, I think the biggest thing that's improved my mental health over the years is exercise. Like, I would say there's a few different things. These keys to happiness, I call them. I would say there's a few of them, like getting outside and getting sunlight. Sounds like pretty, you know, touching grass. It sounds pretty cliche, like, yeah, whatever, but I think it's actually enormously helpful for your mental health. Like if you ever spent like an entire weekend inside and didn't go outside, I'm sure you kind of know what I mean. You start to feel super cooped up, and there's obviously like tons of scientific studies backing that, you know, sunlight and being outdoors is really good for relieving anxiety and things like that. So, but for me personally, like when I was at my happiest point in life, I think it was when I was going to the gym like every single day. I would work out for like an hour and a half or so, and I felt amazing. I think the biggest reason is because like I would go to the gym with maybe like, I don't know, whatever stressful thing I was thinking about, like whether it be like a test coming up or something like that. And as soon as I started like lifting weights or whatever I would do, like all those things would just seem so insignificant all of a sudden. And I think it's like because we're training our brain and our body to like push ourselves through difficult things, and it kind of like helps you like accumulate or acclimate, I don't know what the word is, but like deal with stress, like high stress. So yeah, that would be the number one thing for me. And if you guys are like not super into the gym and you feel like intimidated or something like that, I would just say it really, like, you can start out really small. Like, you can literally just go for a 5-minute walk. Like, you don't even have to go to a gym. You don't, if you're like whatever, if you don't like the gym, or if you like don't know what to do, there's also like tons of resources online to learn like routines. Like, you can just Google like a workout routine very easily, and you don't have to be like so worried about like making sure you're doing the perfect optimal thing. Like, as long as you're doing something, start out with like a walk every single day. Just go for a walk around the block, and I guarantee you'll feel like your mental health is improving. So yeah, let's move on to question number 4. That's the wrong one. Okay, so Viva Erva asks, those who ended their relationship with somebody, what was the final straw? So I didn't. This made me immediately think of the longest relationship I had in my life, which was with this girl back. I think we started dating in high school, my like senior year. I was like 18, and she was 17, like right when we first met at a volunteer camp for like disabled kids. And then we started dating for like 2 years after that. And eventually I like went away to college, and so almost the last like year of our relationship was long distance, which was really tough. But yeah, she technically ended things, but for me, like, there was like a final straw in our relationship. I tell this story of like, so I was on break from school and I was back home in my hometown, and I had like a few days off or whatever, like a week off, and then she also was on break for a few days, and she went to a different school, and so it was like she was going to be back in town, and it was a chance for us to see each other, and we just had like 3 days where we were both back in town. And so I asked her, I was like, oh yeah, like, let's make plans, let's hang out, I haven't seen you in like seriously like 2 months or something, like it had been so long. And she says, oh, actually I have plans to do stuff with my friend her friend is like her friend from high school, who she's actively roommates with in college at the time. Like, she literally lived with this girl. So I just thought that was like so ridiculous because I just thought, like, are you serious? Like, we haven't seen each other in 2 months, and you want to like spend this weekend with your friend who you see every single day? It just didn't make any sense to me. And I totally understand like boundaries, and like, people have to make their own decisions and have relationships and like do things with other people, and you can't like be controlling like that. I really don't think that that's me at all. Like, I'm not that controlling type. But that was like a huge red flag for me, and I just thought, man, something's up here. Like, I don't know why, I don't know what I did, but yeah, anyways, not long after that, I like went over to her house, and she pretty much just told me like, hey, I think we need to break up. And she was like in tears, and she said like, I love you, am I making a mistake? And I said like, to be honest, like, yeah, I think we're like perfect for each other, but if this is what you want, then like, I'm not going to try and stop you. Like, that's your decision. And she's like, yeah, that's pretty much how that ended. So anyways, that's pretty heavy question there. Let's move on to question number 5. Weird O says, oh wait, oh, I opened the wrong thing. Hang on 1 second. There it is. Okay. This is from Andy Suze. He says, what's the most important lesson you've learned the hard way that you wish you could pass on to everyone? Ooh, that is a really good question. And I think for me, I would have to say, like, don't trust people too much if they haven't earned your trust, because I've been just backstabbed and betrayed and by so many people over the years, and I think it's because I have a very trusting nature. Like, I don't assume the worst in anybody when I first meet them, and I kind of like give them the benefit of the doubt until they kind of give me a reason not to trust them. And it's sad to say, but I think I might benefit in life from being a little bit more skeptical with like trusting people, because it's really bitten me in the butt a lot of times. So Yeah, and I also wanted to share a couple of the other comments that I read from this from this question. Weirdo said, "Learn to see how you're contributing to a problem instead of always blaming someone else. My relationships would have gone a lot better if I learned this earlier." I think that's a really good response, because I know, like, in the past I used to play the blame game a lot, and I wouldn't really want to, like, see the other person's perspective whenever there was, like, a conflict in a relationship. So yeah, I think if you can try to, like, if you're ever in a fight with somebody, try and see it from their shoes, like their point of view, because it's always 50-50, like, or it always takes two to tango, whatever the saying is. Like, it's not just them. Like, I promise you, if you were doing everything perfectly right, they wouldn't have a problem with you, and you wouldn't have a problem with them. Like, it always is two people, whenever, in most of the cases. So yeah, and then let's see what the other responses were. Shaku Sulu says, "Companies are not family. Don't expect equal value from your boss or employee or employer in exchange for loyalty and sacrifice." And then Jaiber says, "You can love the company as much as you want. The company will never love you." And yeah, if you guys saw my video that I uploaded like last week, telling like how I lost my job, this is like super relevant for me. Yeah, I can attest to this. Like, don't trust your employer. Don't tell them things that could get you fired, like that you don't like the job or something, or the person at the job. Like, yeah, it's a sad fact, you know. Everyone wishes that it could be like a family, but sadly that's just not the reality. So I think we got one more response to that question that I wanted to read. X Petite says, "Trust your gut. If something or someone feels off, don't wait for a sign to prove it. I ignored my instincts too many times, and it always ended in regret." And yeah, the student says, "Definitely this. You know more than you think." Fartin Martin Toe Socks saw something that said, "You see and interact with people behaving normally every single day. If your gut is telling you that something is off, it probably is, even if you don't know what is wrong. It's easy to sense when something is a little sideways and almost gaslight yourself into believing that everything's okay." Yeah, like, I think intuition is like probably one of the biggest things. Like he says, trust your gut. Yeah, that's perfectly said. Like, if you have a feeling about somebody, you should trust it, because so many times I've had a feeling about somebody, like, oh, I don't know, I feel like this person's not good for me or something like that, let's say, and every single time I ended up just kind of like trusting that maybe they could get better and like we could fix things, and in every single case it just led to more and more, you know, trouble for me. So yeah, that would be my best advice. So yeah, that's all the questions I had for this video, guys. If you want to see another one of these next week or something, go ahead, comment any kind of questions you want to see me answer, and maybe I can answer them, or maybe I can do some more Ask Reddit questions. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. If you liked the video, go ahead, like, and if you're new around here, subscribe so you can keep up to date. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Cause I ride for my click, I get live with my click, go get high with my click, do or die for my click. Said it's all that I know, yeah, it's all that I know, yeah, it's all that I know. And you can't never tell me nothing. I ride for my click, I get live with my click, go get high with my click, do or die for my click. Said it's all that I know, yeah, it's all that I know, yeah, it's all that I know. And you can't never tell me nothing. You already know just where I be, dog. I ain't being cocky, but Philly what I'm reppin'. Watch me check it like it's hockey. I ain't tryna get it twisted. If you get it, then you got me. If you with it, cool. If not, I'll treat you like a Tamagotchi. I'ma let you down point. Yeah, I never disappoint. Give me something I can spit on. Watch me rip it like a joint. I'm about to take her out to dinner. Guarantee I tip her. Little, but we do it big like I was a dipper. And these homies never crush 'em. Guarantee they never bustin'. Dog, your flow be super weak. Now go to sleep like Robitussin. I ain't tryna be that homie who could never make it happen. If you down, let's get it crackin'. Make that paper, keep it stacking like I love the way it feel. Once she break it down for real, what's the deal? Flow is worth a meal. Trick, I'm about to kill. Keep it trill. That's the way I roll. That's the way I go. That's for show. That's the way I flow.